Hey, ASLers, and welcome to another iteration of the Scouting Report. And welcome to the Steelworks, another offering from George Kelln at Lone Canuck Publishing. This one takes place in Caen, France, which is on the outskirts of Caen, the Norman city of Caen, which in itself is just south of the British and Canadian landing beaches of Sword and Juno. And one of their objectives was to secure Caen, which was a German strongpoint. And there were several operations to do this, specifically Operation Charnwood and Operation Goodwood. Some met with better success than others. It took them about a month or two to secure Caen totally. But one of the operations specifically, which is covered in the Steelworks here, was Operation Stack, which was an operation undertaken by General Montgomery to secure the metallurgy company on the outskirts of Caen in Colombelles, France. I may be mispronouncing that. And the reason for that was there were massive smokestacks in the factory that had an overview of the entire area. And they used the smokestacks in the Metallurgic Company of Normandy, that was the name, to as an observation post over the entire battlefield, sort of leading into Caen and maybe on the outskirts of Caen. So this historical scenario pack, are the scenarios and operations detailing Operation Stack and trying to retake the factory area and the smokestacks themselves, which is actually one of the scenarios. So let's jump into the contents of this. The map is big. I'm not going to be able to display it on my little camera setup here. Backside shows the five scenarios, or I believe he refers to them as tactical missions, and as well as the credits. And I'm sure we recognize some of the names on this list. And it's great that George actually does playtesting and includes credits for the playtesters that help him out. I'm just going to show you real quick. I'll step back to these. So it comes with the map, a small sheet of counters, and then basically some historical perspective and special rules, as well as the five scenarios or missions. So let's start with the map. I'll squeeze in as much as I can. I'll try to unfold it here so you can at least get in detail. I'll also superimpose, I'll take a picture of it with the ASL rulebook, at least the pocket rulebook for scale. I'll insert that in here. And as you can see, the map is approximately, I didn't measure the exact dimensions, but it's approximately maybe 3.5 feet by 2.5 feet. And it shows the entire area surrounding the metallurgical factory and the smokestacks. So there's a good view of that. So let's step back to the detailed map. So here we are. I'll just unfold it in sections, and you can see, I guess, as much as shows up. I'll just unfold it once. This is the central area here. Here's the factories, and you can see just on the outskirts here, I don't think you can get the bottom one. There's one of the smokestacks, and let me just rotate it. I'm going to rotate it, and there's the other smokestack. So there's 1, 2, factory, lots of rail works. The river Lorne on this side, and let me just flip it to the last panel. And basically there's train depot, river, lots of grain, and I presume these are plowed fields since they're a different color. Lots of rubble on the map as well. Very cool map. Let's take a look at the counters. I'm going to try to get a zoom in of these. Most of these are pretty standard counters. There's a few exceptions on here. Some of them have the logo of the units involved on the British side and the German side. But the two exceptions on this that stand out to me are, where are they? We have Pipers on here, 009 Pipers, as well as a 52 firepower demo charge. And these are called, excuse me for a sec, let me look back through the sheet. Hayrick demo charges, 52 firepower. Of course, there is no 52 firepower on the infantry fire table, but I'll speak to those, both of those in a moment. So Pipers and demo charges. Let me see if I can get a zoom on the quality of the counters. A nice quality, full color, nice and centered, good punching. Cool. And next, let's go through the historical perspective, the rules, and the scenarios themselves, the missions themselves. So there's about 3-4 pages. Yeah, 3 pages of the historical background leading up to the operation, including the prelude following the invasion of Normandy, specifically Juno and Sword Beaches, where the Canadians and British landed. And then it talks about some of the operations around Caen. Then it goes into detail on Operation Smokestack and the aftermath as well, or Operation Stack, not Smokestack. And again, here's credits on this sheet again. So 3 pages of historical perspective to give you some background. I just skimmed over the high level details. And then there is a overview map. It's a nice overview map, but it's a little blurry. I wish the resolution was better on this zoomed in map. You can't read the hex numbers. I know that he would have had to print this at a much higher resolution probably than the regular printout to get the numbers and the hexes to show up. But it still gives you a nice overview of the map on one sheet. And then we've got, I think there's only 4 pages of special scenario rules needed to play this, and some of them are familiar. There's rubble and that sort of thing, but there are rules for Smokestack. Building roads, burnt out orchards, factories, entrenching, special rules due to hard ground in this case. And then it talks about some of the units, special units on each side, how they may ELR or disrupt. British assault engineers. And then this last sheet, so not a whole lot of rules reading need to be done to play this, these tactical missions. So here on the last page, we've got Pipers and the Hayrick demo charge. Now Pipers, they're basically treated like leaders / heroes in that they don't break. They have to do, when they fail morale, they have to undertake a wound severity check, essentially. Vulnerability, because they're often standing and making lots of noise, they make good targets, so there's a -1 modifier from any infantry fire table resolution against them. But conversely, they give a morale boost of, I believe, of 1. Yeah, by 1 of any units, any friendly Scottish Highland Infantry Cavalry units in the same same location as the Piper. So they have no firepower, they have no range. They just stand around and boost the morale of fellow units in the same location. Now the Hayrick demo charge, like I mentioned, it's 52 firepower. It can't be thrown. It weighs like 27 pounds, 27 and a half pounds according to the notes. But it can be placed normally, and it can be set. If it's used normally, excuse me, it's resolved on the 36 firepower, 36 plus firepower with a -2 diroll modifier, receiving a heavy payload diroll modifier, C7.7. If it's set ahead of time, it gets a -5 diroll modifier, so 36 firepower -5 diroll modifier. That is, if you can get it in range and set it, and survive all that it's involved with placing and setting a demo charge. So those are the two things that stood out for me from the special scenario rules. Now let's go through the scenarios, the tactical missions. Not all of them use the entirety of the map. Some of them use little corners of the map. The first one here, secure the crossroads, which is just on the corner, looks like the northeast corner of the map. Just shy of 1/4 of the map, maybe it's about 1/5 of the map, 5.5 turns. Basically an infantry only scenario involving Germans have fortifications, they have wire bunkers and minefields, and then the British are coming at them with some infantry with Bangalore torpedoes, demo chargers, mortars, Piats, medium machine guns. Estimated playing time 2 hours 28 minutes. I'm curious how they get so specific on the playing time, where they get it down to the actual minute, 2 hours 28 minutes. Someone asked me to predict how long a game would take that I would play. I would have no idea how to predict that. Hunt the Hun, 5 turns. This is up in the northwest corner of the map, about the same amount of area as of the first scenario, but it's a little more elongated. Sort of a similar type of makeup. Germans are fortified in wire minefield, and again the British have Bangalore torpedoes, demo chargers, mortars, Piats, etc. Tiger attack. We start bringing in armor into the battle. 11 July, and this uses basically just a little bit more than 1/4 of the northeast corner, and the British / Canadians are coming in with infantry and armor, bunch of Shermans here, and the Germans are defending with some infantry and 3 later model Tigers. Shermans against Tigers. I know how that one ends. I've been there. I'm sure we all have. 5.5 turns. I may have mentioned that. Okay, here's where we get into the real meat of the pack. Knock them down. Uses the whole map, entire map. 12 turns. Estimated playing time 16 hours. The previous scenario, just about 4 hours on that previous one. This one, 16 hours. This is the monster scenario, I guess, of the pack, using the whole board. Quite a few units on the German side, including off-board artillery, and a lot of units and armor on the British-Canadian side, with lots of toys. They have off-board artillery too. Oh, and they have the 52 firepower demo charges to play around with. And then lastly, we have securing the Steelworks. Let me go back to this one. Knock them down is the scenario to take down the smokestacks. So the victory conditions are British win by destroying the smokestacks in M25 and O20. So this is the scenario that's specific reference to Operation Stack and taking down those observation posts within the metallurgical factory. Okay, back to this one. Securing the Steelworks, 10 turns. says it'll take 10 hours and 21 minutes, meaning it would take me about 20 hours to play. It uses the majority of the map. And again, we have a fairly meaty order of battle here, but there's no armor. This is all infantry with some guns involved. I don't see any radios. Oh, no, the British have a radio in this one as well. That is it. That is the end of the Steelworks historical tactical module, tactical mission from Lone Canuck Publishing, George Kelln. You can order that now. It includes a large, nice historical map, small sheet of counters, historical perspective, 4 pages of rules, and 5 scenario/tactical missions. If you're interested, look that up on their website. Just search Google for Lone Canuck Publishing. If you have any feedback for me, please leave it in the comments below. Please subscribe so I can bring you some more videos like this, some more unboxing, unpackaging, unwrapping, whatever you want to call it, videos. And appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time. Rolo.